decks of the night for deck 4 to be exact. Starlight Synchro. Here it is. Beyond the Moonlight Veil into the beginning of the cosmic sea in Starlight. Faith, hope, and love. Freedom, passions, and going full throttle to the great unknown, no matter the pain. So in my Stardust deck, I have a lot going on because these are cards I've used for years. This ties back to a whole story of how I got into Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe I'll do that one day, maybe I'll do that after the series. But the Junk Synchron, the Stardust you're going to see, I really want to look at them because they are cards I have used, like you say, for years. In the same vein as the other videos, this is going to be a single copy, and I'm going to go over each copy really fast, basically. 3 copies of On Your Mark, Get Set, Duel. This is a simple searcher. We love it. We want to see it. 3 copies of Junk Converter. Again, convert any tuner into a Junk monster, actually a Synchron tuner, for whatever you need. This helps set up your Junk Doppel combo. This deck is Junk, what is it? Yeah, Junk Doppel, but also running a Stardust engine. This deck's also something more specific, and I'll get into that at a certain section. You also want to run 3 copies of tuning, only one copy of Synchron Carrier. He's a good card, gives you another normal summon. And then you want to run 3 copies of the next card, which is Synchro Overtake. Now, maybe I should have said this in the beginning. I didn't, for whatever reason. But I will save it for... Before I show you the extra deck, I should do that, because it's going to affect the extra deck a lot. But this is basically just a Junk Doppel deck, or the backbone of the deck is Junk Doppel. If that fails, we have the Stardust stuff, and then if the Stardust stuff fails, we have the Junk Doppel stuff, vice versa, like that. But speaking of copies, this is my Junk Synchron. I got this from the very first starter deck, and I've had it ever since, from way back then in 2009. The next card is going to be 1 copy of Will Synchron, and in case you missed it, it was 3 copies of Doppel Warrior and 3 copies of Junk Synchron, and surprise, you didn't miss it because I don't think I even said it. But it's going to be 1 copy of Revolution Synchron, 1 copy of Assault Synchron, and 1 copy of Jet Synchron. Look how beautiful my Jet is. I love my Jet. So I've been struggling with the Stardust engine until I finally decided I think this is the best it's going to get. I cracked the code here. But 2 copies of Stardust Synchron, it just feels much more better. There's a lot of ways to get Stardust Synchron. And 2 copies, pretty good. A lot of the time you just need 1 copy. The second one is just pure backup. You do need at least a backup copy here or there. 3 copies of Stardust Illumination, because if you open Illumination and Synchron, Stardust Synchron, you're good to go. Trail, funny enough, 2-card combo with Illumination can end on a very powerful boss monster that came out with the support. You'll see it, I'm mentioning, don't worry. But 2 copies of Trail. I wanted to do 3, but I think 2, actually I want to do 1, but I think 2's the best. I need some more room for stuff, or room to do stuff, I guess you could say, repeatedly, over the course of turns. 1 Arrive in Light, 1 Converging Will's Dragon, and 1 Stardust War. These cards work great in tandem. That's honestly what I think. I think they work great as a one-off little engine. This card is not part of the core of the deck, but I think you could if you want to add it, and it's 1 copy of Majestic Mirage. Let me explain something here, very importantly. So I kind of pulled this in my Moonlit video, I'm pulling it here. I did not give you guys a full deck list. That's because this deck, you can kind of go wild with it. Also, you see that I'm missing the trap card, Majestic Mirage, on screen, because technically it is not part of the core of the deck, but I did have it laying around, so I did want to show it off on camera. you can add any 7 cards you want, any 7 cards you think will help you going first. So you can add any hand traps, any traps you want. There's a bunch of Yusei scrap cards if you want to get more into the character. But I kind of did a bit of both. Majestic Mirage is definitely a win more card, but when you're winning more, it feels so good and so awesome, I'm sorry to say. So I did replace a Called by the Grave for Majestic Mirage, just because when it goes off hard, and I just really love that. Though the Called by wouldn't be too bad, or any other one of, I guess you could say, like maybe Triple Tactics Talent or something would probably be better. Any 7 cards you think would go good, do them. What I removed to just show you a blank space is 1 Majestic Mirage, but you already saw that, so it would not be 33, it would be 34. 2 Ash Blossoms, because personally I think Ash Blossom goes good. Ghost Bell, because sometimes they want to bestial your graveyard, so you Ghost Bell that. Other times, sometimes you may be finding a graveyard deck, you just tell them no. And then the Infinite Impermanence. Now, there's a reason why I'm not running Forbidden Droplet, because sometimes when you open up your hand, you may be going second. So you want to stop them on their turn, but also the setting and flipping on your opponent's turn can really catch them by surprise, because they're used to synchro decks being all in on monsters. And also the column-based stuff of negating something on the other side is also just another good bonus. But honestly, you can replace the 2 imperms and just put 2 Forbidden Droplets or 3 droplets, doesn't really matter. You do still want stuff in your graveyard. You do want the Doppel Warrior in your graveyard, and that can really help with the junk Synchron play. I have Infinite Impermanence mainboarded because I face a Shadow deck, and it really punished me with Winda, and they didn't have anything else. It was just Winda, and I could not play because I couldn't out the Winda. And I was like, I need something that can just out a monster like that. So what I'm going to explain next is very, very important for the whole entire deck. This is not a normal Synchro deck. This, my guys, is Starlight Synchro. So a key feature of all the decks of the night is that it takes the base summoning mechanic and it turns it out to its ultimate summoning mechanic form, right? So with rituals, I guess that's a ritual monster using a ritual monster to ritual summon, I'm guessing. Ritual doesn't really have an advanced ritual form or anything like that. Fusion kinda does, kinda doesn't, in the form of leveling up your fusion monster. I mean, Moonlit does that, funny enough, inherently. Cat into Panther, Panther into Leo, Leo into Liger. But the only time that became a true mechanic was with Synchros. And of course, Excel Synchro. This is not a normal Synchro deck. If you thought I was going to use Dispatter, if you thought I was going to shit out 5 Quasars, no. We are using everything in this deck and its power to set up Synchro plays on my opponent's turn to catch them off guard. So I have to explain that because there's going to be a bunch of cards in here that don't make sense if you're thinking about this deck as a regular, just let me get my board negated type of play. This is important because there's a certain play that I think you can out Dark Ruler No More, and it goes into the Excel Synchro play. But that's the only reason why I'm bringing this up now and derailing the whole video, making it so long. Is to say this is not a normal Synchro deck. This is a Excel Synchro deck. Actually, this is more, not even a Delta, this is a limit over Excel Synchro deck. So on to the extra deck. And I'm pretty proud of it, I'm not gonna lie. So every card in the extra deck is going to be a one of. And the first card in this extra deck is going, I don't know if I call it a Synchro deck on accident. It's going to be one Formula Synchron. So Formula Synchron is actually kind of hard to make in this deck, funny enough. But with the right setup, you could enter Formula Synchron with a level 5 monster will be showing off very shortly. Alright, Speeder, bread and butter with the decks like this. Excel Synchron, it's a Synchro tuner, and that is the GOAT. Jet Warrior is the GOAT in this deck. It is insane. Jet Warrior can go help make a formula, and it's a cool, confusing combo. But I'm derailing the whole video to show off my Junk Warrior, because this isn't just me buying a card. This is actually a card of friendship between me and two other friends. It's a whole kind of story, a mishap. But this is just really cool. I really love this Junk Warrior, because I realize, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be really true. This is a card of friendship to me, in all honesty. Besides it just being the 25th anniversary of Junk Warrior. We praise Jesus. Thank you very much, Lord, for allowing that friendship story to happen. Even if it was a micro story, and even if no one cares, praise Jesus, you know what I mean? But beautiful art for that Junk Warrior. I did have the original. It is in my binder of Memento. But Junk Warrior is another key piece. Speed Warrior is a key piece. Obviously, the bread and butters. Junk Warrior is not a brick in this deck. You do use it to facilitate your Excel Synchros. And here's another tuner that gets no play at all. And it did kind of get a play, but it was kind of broken. They're trying to break it. And that's the Shooting Star. I wanted to show off the rarity of Stardust Charge Warrior. And again, this is a pure deck. So everything's going to be Warrior, Excel, Synchron, or Stardust. The GOAT, another GOAT. This is why I think you can out Dark Ruler, is because you can activate this effect to send him to the graveyard. It will be negated, but if you have your little, what's his name? Assault Synchron, I believe you can get him back, right? Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm reading the card again. Yeah, you can definitely do that. So you go ahead and tribute Excel Synchron, Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. Its effect will be negated, and then you can bring it back with Assault Synchron under Dark Ruler is what I'm talking about specifically. And then when he's back, you could go into your Excel Synchro plays. It's something that hasn't really came up, but it's something that I know regular Synchro decks just cannot do. They go into their 5 negate boards, you Dark Ruler them, they have no backup plan. But that's also why we're playing Satellite Warrior, because when Satellite Warrior is destroyed, he brings you back monsters, and that's more Excel Synchro plays. Here are the final 5 boss monsters that I really love. Stardust Warrior can just outright negate a summon. It's insane. Synchro, XC, Link, Pendulum, he can just negate it. Just negate the summon. He will come back too, so that's even better. If he leaves the field, you could get out Jet Warrior, and the Jet Warrior can bounce a card. We have the 2 GOATs here themselves, Majestic Star Dragon and Shooting Star Dragon. Shooting Star Dragon comes out unaffected. Really great. The other card can just blow up the field. He's also unaffected. Shooting Majestic Star Dragon is also another card that can come out unaffected, and it's why I play Majestic Mirage, because of Shooting Star and Shooting Majestic Star. And the card that I get out very frequently, Shooting Quasar Dragon. It's insane how frequent this guy comes out. When you do the combo right, it comes out almost every single game. It is so cool that if he dies, it sounds funny, right? Like, they get over the negate or whatever. He's still a 4,000 beat stick. Really hard to get over for a lot of decks. It's insane. But he can drop a Shooting Star if he dies. If he gets removed from the field. If he gets banished, even. Sadly, it's a wonky effect because it's not an if, it's a when. But he can get out Shooting Star Dragon. This is the side deck. There's a cool thing I like to do, and that is go battle phase, chain, droplet, make my opponent get rid of all their cards, and then I can start doing my synchro plays. That is extremely dangerous, and it's extremely nice. But that's the deck profile. Thank you. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you hopefully next time.